Hi, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. Holla. All right, all right. Good morning. And you are watching The Faith Factor. And I am your humble host, Faith. And today I just want to get right into it because we are going to talk about the hypocrisy real quick. And today I'm feeling a little background music today. I think I want to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and feed the ducks. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, how about a little bit of night driving? Let's see how I feel about that. Let's see how I feel about that. Nah, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. Okay, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Water Sniper says, leave Will Smith alone. No. See, I really don't have anything against Will Smith. I don't. I really don't. Um, this is coming from a place of y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. See, it's a lot of people out here, with the fake outrage, talking about the black women hair, and Will Smith was protecting his wife, and all this other stuff. Stop, y'all. Y'all need to just stop. So, there have been new developments, and I do not come on here unless there are new developments. So, without further ado, I'm going to go into a little screen sharing here because I want to make sure that I'm sharing with you what these new developments are. First of all, Will Smith is a hypocrite, straight up and down. He doesn't want anyone saying anything about his wife's baldness, and he can't take a joke. But we gonna get into that. We gonna get right into it because see, there's a lot of hypocrisy here because he did the same thing. He did the same exact thing to someone else who had alopecia. And we're gonna get into the male-female dynamics because black women feel as if their feelings are the only feelings that should be taken into consideration. Men, y'all, if y'all are sensitive about something, y'all just, y'all better just take it on the chin. But if black women are sensitive about something, well, we're women. It's our looks. Black men don't get sensitive about their looks. We gonna talk about all this fake outrage and hypocrisy real quick because black women, y'all are starting to wear me down. This is just me talking personally with your little sensitive ass feelings. And I no longer want to be included in a group of women that are so damn sensitive about shit that's cosmetic. Now I understand, we are women and we, our beauty and all this other stuff. But if we're gonna start censoring everything that comedians joke about, comedians can't joke about bald heads and they can't joke about fat people and they can't joke about short people. I mean, y'all just so goddamn sensitive. Everybody got to stop and pause and bow down to the queens. Y'all queens. They can't take a joke. So I want to kick it off because Chris Rock did briefly address the Will Smith smack and at a Boston comedy club. And I do want to share that with you guys. and get into a little bit of commentary about it. Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna shut down the music real quick. Just shut it down real quick so that we can get into the nitty gritty of this. All right, so this is Chris Rock at a Boston comedy club. Let me see if I can get this to play. It played earlier. Don't quote me on it though, because I have no idea how TMZ is doing their stuff. Okay, it's like, it's not wanting to play, guys. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get something else to go on. But basically, he was at the Boston Comedy Club, and it was pretty good. Actually, he went from having low ticket sales to actually selling out the whole arena, and he actually upped his ticket price to anywhere upwards to even $5,000. So it was pretty amazing. He had a really good turnout. I wanted you guys to hear the audio because Chris Rock briefly addressed what happened. He basically said that he was still processing what happened. And he walked onto the stage to uproarious applause as people were supporting him. You can even hear an audience member shouting out, F Will Smith. F Will Smith. So, he was getting a lot of love and he was getting a lot of support. So it doesn't look like I can get that video to play. But that's basically the gist of what you would see in that video. Basically, Chris Rock was getting his love. He was getting his support from the audience. And I think he deserves it. Because, we keep forgetting who the victim actually is here. Chris Rock was actually the victim. And see, after that award show, nobody went to go and check on Chris. Nobody went to go and ask Chris if he was okay or anything. Now, there was somebody who was behind the scenes at that award show, and they kind of took a picture or a video of Chris' reaction right after the slap. And Chris could be seen behind the scenes kind of looking shook, just a little shook. He still held his composure together. He was still holding it together, but he did look visibly shook. And I have to give him all his accolades for going on with the show, for making sure that everybody still had a good time and doing his goddamn job as a comedian. So I have to really, really give him his roses and his accolades for that, because that would have been very difficult for anyone to do, considering the circumstances. But I do have, let me see if I can get that video to play. I do have that video that I do want to share with you. And this is just Chris Rock behind the scenes. Okay, here it is. A fan pretty much took this video of Chris Rock right after the event happened. He looks rather sad. visibly shook, but he's holding it together. That was on directly after that slap. I have to give it to him. I have to give it to Chris. He held it together. He held that together real nicely. So, shout out to Chris Rock, for being the professional in the situation. Shout out to Chris Rock. Uncle Phil said, wow, he looks sad. Maybe it was real. I mean, I think it was. There's no evidence that it wasn't real, Uncle Phil. So, um, I really hate that happened because I like both Will Smith and I like Chris Rock. I am a fan of both bodies of their work. I think that both men work very hard in their careers, and for it to come to this, it was not a good look for either one of them. Either of them. Like I said, I respect Will Smith and his body of work, and I also respect Chris Rock and his body of work. What's up, AP from the Bronx? Good to see you. So now there's that. And then there's this. Now, you all know that Will Smith, wife Jada Pinkett Smith, she's been suffering from a condition called alopecia. Okay. And she was very candid about her situation, and we all went through that, spiel, where she was saddened about losing her hair. Now I mentioned this in the first video and the second video. Alopecia is a medical condition that pretty much attacks the hair follicle. It is a cosmetic medical condition, and that is all. It is not like lupus or cancer or leukemia or any other major medical illness. It is a cosmetic thing. Okay, so I want to put that in perspective because a lot of people, especially some sensitive Black women, are trying to make this into more than what it is. And I understand that we as Black women, we go through a thing with our hair, but hair conditions such as male pattern baldness, alopecia, or any type of hair condition, that is not a serious enough medical condition where you can go around slapping folks. Okay. You just don't go around slapping folks because somebody said your mama bald or your wife bald or your daughter bald. You don't do that. I remember being a kid going through adolescence, and I had really, really bad acne and got teased all the time from, I would say I started having acne about 6th grade in grammar school all the way through high school. And it was real bad acne. I got called pizza face. People were cracking jokes on me. I cried. It was very, very bad until one day, one of my relatives pulled me to the side. And then he was an uncle, and he said, Faith, you're going to have to stop wearing your heart on your sleeve and stop crying in front of these people. And you're going to have to develop a thick skin because you're not going to be able to stop what people say about you. And he told me, he said, it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. And he said, and then you got to learn how to snap back. So my uncle was teaching me to toughen up and to use my words. And I was a kid. Okay. But that was a character developing moment for me because I had to learn how to grow that thick skin. I had to learn how to snap back. AP said, "Did I slap them?" No, no, I didn't. Now, if somebody put their hands on me, I was always taught to fight in instances of someone using physical force against me. But my parents never encouraged me to fight just because somebody was, you know, name calling. So I was bullied, name called, but my parents taught me the difference. Oh yeah, somebody put their hands on me. Faith was on thumping everybody. But Faith was not thumping nobody over no name calling. And I was a kid. And that teaching stuck with me as an adult. I was taught to use my words. So now we're talking about people in this situation who are not children. Now, if I, as a child, can learn that lesson and grow from it, then how come these 50 something year olds can't? Because see, if Faith had been in school fighting, if Faith had been in school fighting every day because somebody talking about acne, Faith would have got suspended from school, probably expelled. There would have been a lot of bad things that would have happened to little Faith because little Faith is sensitive. And so Faith had to learn how not to be sensitive, and Faith had to learn how to use her words to stand up for herself. And Faith had to learn to love herself. So if Faith had to learn that in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade, why can't these 50 something year olds do that? What's wrong with you 30, 40, 50 some year old black women talking about is our hair? But it's our hair. Do y'all know how bad y'all looking? You know, the black woman's low self-esteem is always on public display. And it's starting to become sickening. I don't want no parts of it. I don't want to be put in the same group with y'all. Talking about, but it's our hair. And we got black men finally standing up for us. How thirsty are you for this so-called protection? How thirsty? Black women's low self-esteem is always on display. And the quest for validation is overshadowing what is right and what is wrong. How can your quest for validation be so strong that you, as mothers, grandmothers, can no longer see what is right and what is wrong anymore? Because it's our hair. And we always had problems with our hair. And we ain't never been, we so unprotected. And when Will Smith, I saw him protecting his wife because somebody called her bald head, I just felt so good. This how y'all looking and sounding. Your low self-esteem is always on display, and y'all is 30s, y'all in y'all 30s, y'all in y'all 40s, and y'all in y'all 50s doing this. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Violence is never an answer. Never. And you can end up getting people in a whole world of trouble. You can make the trouble even worse. Even worse. But before I dip deep into what I mean by that, I do have something else that I want to share. Now, this is a video of Will Smith on, I believe it was Arsenio Hall. And I don't know how far back it was, but it had to be decades ago, like maybe 20 years, 30 years ago. Arsenio Hall, man, that was old. That was some old stuff. Okay. But on the Arsenio Hall show, Will Smith makes a joke about a bald man's alopecia. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and play that clip and get right back to you with my commentary.
They got rules. They got rules. Like he has a rule. The bass player, he got a rule. He got to wax his head every morning. That's a rule. He follows the rules, man. He follows the rules. Oh, these are jokes. Come on.
These are jokes. Come on. These are jokes.
They got rules. They got rules. Like he has a rule. The bass player, he got a rule. He got to wax his head every morning. That's a rule. He follows the rules, man. He follows the rules. Oh, these are jokes. Come on.
These are jokes. These are jokes. Come on. Lighten up, people. These are jokes. Oh, hold on. I don't know how I did that. So these are jokes. What's up, Chef Disaster? So Will Smith says, these are jokes, people. Come on. You can't take a joke. So what was that same energy when Chris Rock was on the stage telling the same type of joke? Chris Rock said the same thing. He said, it's just a G.I. Jane joke. And you proceeded to yell from your seat, keep my wife's name out your MFing mouth. Now, to be fair, when this video resurfaced of Will Smith making fun of the bald bass player on Arsenio Hall, the bass player did come out and he made his statement. And he just pretty much stated that he took it as a joke himself and he just laughed. And the bass player, sided with Will Smith and said that, he doesn't, he as a man doesn't really care about, the ball jokes. So as a man, you guys take it on the chin. You guys pretty much laugh about it. So he said that, and I'm just paraphrasing because I don't have the exact article anymore. I had it yesterday and for some reason or another, I didn't save it in my email. But basically the bass player said that he was cool with the joke and he understood Will was protecting his wife and that he was emotional because the joke was at his wife's expense. So the bass player is, siding with Will Smith. So he did issue a statement after this video started circulating, going viral, of Will Smith making fun of his baldness and his alopecia. And he did say that he doesn't have the same type of alopecia as Jada. He said that he was able to, with certain chemicals and creams and different things of that nature, he was able to grow his hair back. And in some forms of alopecia, you can definitely grow your hair back. But I maintain that if this man had been like Jada and couldn't take a joke, how differently would that have gone? How would he? People would have said that that man was sensitive, that he couldn't take a joke. They would have kind of, would have degraded that man. They would have told him that he was a wussy. I'm not going to say the other word, but they would have called him a wussy if he couldn't take that joke. They would have called him soft if he couldn't take that joke. That's what would have happened. And people are also saying that Chris Rock apologized to Will Smith. This is also false. Chris Rock did not issue any statement on his Instagram at all after that event. And see, a lot of people ran with the statement that they saw on a Facebook post. But there were a couple of fact checkers out there. I think it was Snopes did a fact check, and USA Today did a fact check on this, and it came out to be false. So I am going to share the false Chris Rock apology statement as well, and we're going to talk about that too. Because a lot of people were real quick to say, oh, Will Smith apologized and Chris apologized for what he said to Jada too. No, he did not. Chris did no such thing. Chris was still processing, like he said in his opening at the Boston comedy show that he just did. He's still processing what happened. So here is the actual Snopes.com fact check. And basically it says, did Chris Rock apologize to Will Smith? Okay. And the claim is Chris issued an apology to Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith after an incident at the Oscars, and their rating is false. Okay, here's the origin. No, Chris Rock has not apologized to Will Smith. That viral piece of text that you may have seen was written by a random Facebook user who said that the text was just how I would have handled it, how they would have handled it. On March 28, 2022, the day after Will Smith slapped Rock on stage at the Oscars after Rock made a joke about Smith's wife, actress Jada Pinkett Smith, Facebook user Chris posted a piece of text claiming to be Chris Rock's statement regarding last night's Academy Awards. See, y'all got to be careful with what y'all go running with online. But this is not Chris Rock. This is Chris. Chris wrote this statement, not Chris Rock. So for all of you running around saying that Chris Rock apologized, this is false. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. What's up, Auntie? Auntie in the house. So y'all want to run around and say Chris apologized, but he didn't. Chris says he's still processing what happened. Chris has not accepted Will Smith's apology, by the way. Now, here's some things that I think Chris is processing. Chris and Will Smith have been friends way, way back. I said this in my other video. This goes all the way back to Will Smith's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air days that he and Chris had been friends. So Chris Rock is probably processing the fact that somebody that he thought was his friend would ever do something like this to him while he is on stage in public trying to do his job. Chris Rock never saw that slap coming. He thought his friend was coming on that stage to banter and play with him like they always had in the past. So if this was the type of friendship that they had in the past, why all of a sudden would it be different? So I told you that I was going to go into the whole bullying thing and how bullies operate. Because Will Smith is a bully. And I'm also going to go into how Black women you egg shit on that could possibly get everybody killed. Now in Chicago, and you guys know I'm from Chicago, Illinois. There was an incident where a young woman was riding the Chicago transit on the bus. She was on the bus with her boyfriend. And there was a group of guys at the back of the bus heckling her, calling her out her name, calling her the B word and all this other stuff. And she didn't like it. So she started, heckling back. And her boyfriend was with her. Now, in this situation, you got a stupid young man with a gang of other men. And they said during that time it had to be at least 10 or 12 of them back there. And it's just her and her boyfriend. When she opened her mouth and she started getting into words with this young man, the young man got up and began to face her front on. The boyfriend interjected, and then the boyfriend and the young man started having words with each other. At which point, that guy that was heckling them and his friends jumped on her boyfriend, killing him. And they also jumped on her, putting her in the hospital. Those guys were doing what you call wilding out. That's something that they used to do a lot back in the day. And what that is sometimes you'll have a group of kids or a gang. They're just going out to pick on people. They pick a target and they want the smoke. So they'll do things like single you out, heckle you in front of a whole group because they want you to have a reaction so that they can do something to you. They want your reaction just so they can do something to you. It had happened to me a few times riding the bus. I got heckled, but I knew what was up. So as long as they were just in their seats screaming obscenities, I didn't say anything. I didn't even look at them. I acted as if I was deaf. And when they saw that they weren't going to get a reaction out of me, they moved on to someone else. Because that's what they do. Sometimes you have to know when to react, and sometimes you have to know when not to react. And you don't react to everything. But see, with hood logic, you got to react to everything. With hood logic, you got to save face. Hood logic never looks at the bigger picture. That's the reason why I've never been a fan of hood logic. Because the bigger picture is always missed and someone always gets hurt or killed in the end. Somebody's always going to jail in the end. Somebody's always in a body bag in the end when you go and live your life according to hood logic. Somebody always faces a steep repercussion. Will Smith acted on hood logic. Now they're talking about banning him, possibly taking his Oscar. There's a whole lot of repercussions going on here. And the Academy Awards is being pressured for how they handled the entire situation. So please know that this is a lot more serious than a lot of you all are taking it for. Will Smith's actions hit a lot of people. It hit the Academy Awards. They could be sued. Chris Rock said that he is still processing what happened. Chris Rock can decide that the Academy Awards did not protect him good enough. And he can decide that he wants to sue the Academy Awards, and he would be well within his rights to do so. He can also sue Will Smith for the assault, even if he doesn't press charges. There were other Black people that got nominated that night, but nobody is talking about their nominations, and it's very, very difficult for Black people to get nominated and to be awarded anything at the Academy Awards. So it's a shame that the only thing people are remembering are not the nominees, but the slap. Will Smith took a lot away from the other people that were being honored that evening. There was a Black man who actually was responsible for orchestrating the award show. Nobody's talking about that and the good job that he did in putting the entire event together, because everybody's talking about the slap. See, these are things that got lost in the sauce because Will Smith wanted to adhere to hood logic. He effed it up for a lot of other people, a lot of other Black people. Now, you know what the Academy Awards should have done? They should have asked Will Smith to leave, and they claim at this late date that they did. They claim they asked Will Smith to leave. I don't believe them. They claim they asked him to leave, but he would not. Now, let me ask you all something. If someone's in your house and they're cutting up and you ask them to leave and they say no, then what do you do after that? What do you do when someone's in your house and you ask them to leave and they don't leave? You throw them out, right? You're well within your right to use any means necessary to get them the hell out of your house. The Academy Awards got bodyguards there that could have escorted Will the fuck out. Or they could have called the police and had Will escorted out in handcuffs. They could have done that. So I don't believe that they did anything. And see, when they did nothing, their doing nothing did not protect the person who they had paid to MC that show, which was Chris Rock. Chris Rock had to still go back out on that stage after that event and face the person that assaulted him. Marie McKinney says the Academy needs to be sued. They didn't do anything because it was two N-words attacking each other. So what? That's what they were thinking. I feel the same way. That's exactly how I feel. What's up, Chaos Rain? So now we're here. We are here. The Academy Awards did nothing. And now we're here. Now they claim that they're going to they're going to come together and they're going to go over what the punishment should be, but they're not talking about taking away the Oscar. So here's the thing. What if they were to had not given Will Smith that Oscar that night? Well, the Oscar would have gone to the runner-up, right? And who was the runner-up? People. The runner-up was Denzel Washington. Now, I don't know about you, but I would have been cool with Denzel Washington walking away with the Oscar after the way Will Smith acted. I would have been totally cool with Denzel. I like Denzel. I don't know anybody that doesn't like Denzel Washington. I would have been fine with that. Nobody in there would have been mad because Denzel Washington took the Oscar instead. Nobody. So number one, the Academy dropped the ball by not removing Will Smith, and they dropped the ball by allowing him to accept an Oscar after he did what he did and make an acceptance speech. And they dropped the ball by not taking the Oscar and giving it to the runner-up, who would have been Denzel Washington. And nobody would have been mad about that. That would have been another black man that would have gotten an Oscar that night. I would have been completely satisfied with that. But they didn't do it, and now they looking stupid. And there's going to be a lot of people and organizations that are going to pay the price behind this. Y'all sitting up here talking about, oh, Will gonna be okay. You all are delusional. There are more nuances to this than your hood logic brains can wrap around. Way more nuances. And this is the problem that I have with some of you in the Black community. Y'all are not forward thinking at all. Y'all don't think nothing out all the way. Very, very emotional, triggered people. You act and think off of your emotions first. You have no foresight. Instead of saying black first, you ought to be saying emotions first, because that's what you are. Bunch of grown folks acting worse than grammar school kids. Emotions first, not black first, emotions first. Mary McKinney said, where R. Kelly at again? Right. People thought he had power too. Exactly. Exactly. You're talking about large organizations and establishments being affected by this, and y'all think that the shit ain't gonna trickle down. Chris Rock has not accepted Will Smith's apology, and I don't blame him. I hope after he get through processing this whole thing, I hope that his processing leads him to suing the hell out of the Academy Awards and Will Smith. Because they should not get away with just giving him a slap on the wrist for what he did. If that had been just you and I can speak from personal experience. Personal experience. I had a person in my house tearing up my shit. Got into an altercation with this person, and I was arrested because violence is never the answer, even though they tearing up my shit. So now, if violence is no excuse for me protecting my shit in my house, I don't feel no types of way bad for Will Smith. What Will Smith did was not only morally wrong, but it's against the law. So see, we can sit up here and get into semantics about Jada Pinkett and his protection of his wife and her sensitive ass feelings about her alopecia. But at the end of the day, what Will did was against the law, and he did it on television in front of everybody. And let's put this into perspective here. Now, if Will Smith had ran up on that stage, and if Chris Rock had been part of the transgender or the LGBTQ community, Will Smith would not have gotten away with it. They would have said that Will Smith attacked Chris Rock because of his LGBTQ status, and Will Smith would have got canceled. See, if we want to play what ifs, because a lot of y'all sitting up here playing what ifs. If there had been anybody else, Will Smith's ass would have been toast. Now there's a funny meme circulating around that pretty much stated that if the joke had been just about Will, Jada would have been falling out of her seat laughing. If the joke had been about Will. But since the joke was about Jada, little sensitive ass, look, this is the people with the princess complex. I can't stand the princess complex, by the way. I cannot stand females that have the princess complex. But if that joke had been about just her husband, Jada would have been over there slapping her knees laughing. So if we want to just go into the world of what ifs. So let's recap. Black women are thirsty for protection. Our low self-esteem is always on display to the point where it's just getting embarrassing. The quest for validation overshadows what's right or wrong in the Black female community. That's our desperation. Chris Rock did not really apologize. That was someone named Chris who posted something on Facebook pretending to be Chris Rock. Chris Rock is actually still processing what happened. Now, let's see what's going on for the future. In the future, will comedians have to censor their jokes for your sensitive ass feelings? Because, see, comedians are very important. They make us laugh. They put things into perspective. They make us see things in a joking way that are serious. That is their job. So now, since we all sensitive, well, no more fat jokes. There can be no more fat jokes because, some people who are fat, they're fat because of a glandular problem, the thyroid. So you can't make any more fat jokes because some people got thyroid issues. Oh, it's not right for you to make fun of Roseanne Barr or Oprah Winfrey or Lizzo or what's that fat singer? Can't make fun. No more fat jokes because they might have thyroid issues. We're going to talk about Jada Pinkett's alopecia. No more fat jokes because of the thyroids or the medications. Some people are fat because they on medications. No more fat jokes. Even though the comedian can't see your thyroid, they can't see your medications. Chris Rock couldn't see her alopecia. So no more fat jokes. Next. No more jokes about short people. Short people can't help that they were born short. We can't joke about short people no more, y'all. Since we can't joke about bald people, short people off limits too. So this is how we going to start censoring the comedians now. No more fat jokes. No more bald jokes. No more short people jokes. Okay, what else? What else? What other jokes is off limits now? Oh, ugly people. Ugly people, you can't joke no more about ugly people. Because nobody can help if they were born ugly. If you were born ugly, then that's just a shame if someone takes and jokes about your ugliness. So now the comedians, all the ugly people are protected because they might be sensitive about being ugly. So you can't joke about ugly people anymore. No jokes about bald people, no jokes about fat people, no jokes about short people, and no jokes about ugly people. What else? What else can we not joke about anymore? Oh, no more big nose jokes. So if you was born with a big nose, you can't help that you was born with a big nose. That's just how you was born. What's the name of that female actress that had the big nose? Can't joke about her big nose anymore. Nobody with a big nose. You can't tell the big nose jokes anymore because they might be sensitive. Y'all don't know the plight of the big nose person. Y'all don't know how that person feeling. Come on, y'all. How y'all gonna joke about the big nose person? No bald jokes, no fat jokes. What else? No big nose jokes, no short people jokes. We just gonna censor all the jokes that comedians can joke about. No jokes about minorities. You know, comedians like to do their little minority jokes. You know, it's wrong. It's racist. So they can't, no more jokes about minorities at the comedy shows. No LGBTQ jokes. You know, they almost got Dave Chappelle on that. And he won, by the way. No more mama jokes. You see the slippery slope? You see the slippery slope that we going down now. Exactly. Marie McKinney says, plus will comedians have to fear for their lives now? Huge can of worms have been opened. This is a huge can of worms because now everybody's sensitive ass feelings. Nobody can take a joke anymore. These comedians will not have any more material to joke about. Oh, Marie, you didn't get the memo? Marie McKinney says only allowed to do dad jokes. Yeah, because men cannot be sensitive about anything. So it's okay to do dad jokes. It's okay to do little penis jokes. We can joke about their penises. We can joke about their erectile dysfunction. We can joke about their bald heads. We can joke about their pot bellies. We can do all the jokes on men because it's open season on men. We are allowed to joke about men because men got to take it on the chin. It's the sensitive ass women, particularly black women. The only time that we can't joke about men is if they're LGBTQ. Then they're put into the same, lumped into the same thing as black women. Because black women, you can't touch them. And you can't touch LGBTQ either. This is how it's going down. This is how it goes down. Because this is Will Smith. This is Will Smith. Will Smith is able to say a joke about a bald man with alopecia, and at the end of it, he can say, "These are just jokes. Come on." And I can hear Chris Rock saying, It was just a G.I. Jane joke. But nobody, I bet you none of these people on YouTube that were windmilling for Will Smith, they're not going to talk about this. They're not going to talk about the hypocrisy. They're going to explain away and justify it because it was a man and not a woman. So men, y'all got to take it on the chin. But these sensitive ass women, black women in particular, and I'm a black woman saying this, so y'all can kiss my ass, call me a mammy if you want to, but I don't like hypocrisy. None of these other content creators are going to come on here and address how Will Smith is a whole hypocrite. There is a reason why Will Smith did what he did, and it's called ego. Will Smith's ego been taking a bruising, and Chris Rock didn't have shit to do with it. Chris Rock just doing his job like he been doing for years. Chris Rock did not tell Jada Pinkett to go out and have her entanglement and drag her husband on her show and make him relive the hurt in front of everybody. Chris Rock didn't do that. Jada did that. And I submit to you today, when Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock, he was really picturing Jada's face. Because that is the source of all his hurt and pain. And it was all a buildup. And he took that out on his friend. He took that out on his friend, who he knew would not hit him back. Shout out to Chris Rock for playing the long game and for not operating out of hood logic. Because Chris Rock held his composure, all the chess pieces are all his chess pieces are lined up. Chris Rock chess pieces are lined up. Any move that he makes now is a checkmate. Will Smith operating off of hood logic. Y'all don't think he can get touched? Just wait and see. All you hood logic ass Negroes. I want y'all to stay far, far away from me. Because y'all the ones running around here making the black community the way that it is. It's y'all. Y'all are not black first. Y'all are violence first. Y'all are emotion first. I can't be around no emotional, violent ass people. Y'all the ones getting people killed out here. Y'all the one ending people careers. Y'all the crabs in the barrel. Y'all the ones that don't think first. and you're giving black first a bad name. But with that, guys, I am done. Stick a fork in me. I've been on here for an hour. With that, I'm going to have to leave you with peace. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good day.